Listen, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody owes you anything. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not the world. The only person who owes you is you. You owe it to yourself to wake up earlier. You owe it to yourself to push harder. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses, because at the end of the day, when the lights are off and it's just you staring back in the mirror, it's only YOU who has to live with the results. So stop waiting. Stop complaining. Stop expecting handouts. Discipline, work, sacrifice, effort. That's the debt you owe. And it's time to pay up. Discipline is your responsibility. It's not something you can outsource, not something you can hand off, not something anyone else can do for you. No coach, no mentor, no leader, no friend can live inside your head and force you to make the right choices. Discipline is an internal battle, and it's a fight that happens every single day. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, the fight begins. Do you hit the snooze button, or do you get up? Do you reach for your phone, or do you reach for your goals? That's not a decision anyone else can make for you. That's on you. That's your responsibility. Too many people are waiting for motivation. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, the perfect set of circumstances to take action. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline doesn't care about the weather. Discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline is showing up whether you're tired, whether you're sore, whether you're stressed, whether you feel like it or not. And that kind of discipline doesn't get handed to you. You can't buy it. You can't borrow it. You can't copy it from someone else. You have to build it brick by brick, rep by rep, choice by choice every single day. People want shortcuts. They want someone to give them the answer. They want an easy route. They want to blame their circumstances, their environment, their upbringing, their past. But the truth is, those things don't absolve you of responsibility. They might make it harder, but harder doesn't mean impossible. Harder just means you have to dig deeper. And digging deeper requires discipline. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you steady when everything else around you is pulling you in the wrong direction. Discipline is what separates people who talk about change from people who actually change. You can't expect someone else to hold you accountable forever. Maybe at first you'll have someone pushing you, someone reminding you, someone checking on you. But eventually, that crutch has to go. Because real growth comes when no one is watching. Real growth comes when you do what you said you would do, not because someone told you to, but because you refuse to let yourself off the hook. That's when discipline becomes part of who you are. That's when it stops being a struggle and starts being your standard. Discipline is the foundation of every achievement, every victory, every success story. Without it, talent goes to waste. Without it, goals remain dreams. Without it, potential dies in the shadows. You can have all the skill, all the resources, all the intelligence in the world, but if you don't have the discipline to use them consistently, they mean nothing. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And the responsibility to build that bridge lies on your shoulders alone. When you feel like quitting, when you feel like breaking, when you feel like giving up, that's the critical moment. That's when discipline whispers in your ear, keep moving, keep working, keep going. That's when discipline pushes you past your comfort zone and into the territory where growth happens. Nobody else can push that button for you. Nobody else can carry that weight for you. Nobody else can make those sacrifices on your behalf. It has to be you, because at the end of the day, it's your life, your mission, your responsibility. Excuses don't pay your debt. You can stack them up as high as you want, pile them one after another, build a tower of reasons why you didn't get it done, why you couldn't make it happen, why the circumstances weren't right, why the timing was off. But none of those excuses will pay off the debt you owe to yourself. None of them will put in the work. None of them will build the body, the business, the career, the future you say you want. Excuses are empty currency. You can try to trade them in, but they buy nothing. They hold no weight. They carry no value. You can't deposit excuses in the bank. You can't trade them for results. They are worthless. And the more you use them, the more you drown in your own weakness. Every time you make an excuse, you're lying to yourself. You're building a wall between who you are and who you could be. You're putting distance between you and your potential. And the more you repeat those lies, the more you believe them, until your whole life becomes one long story of I could have and I should have, and if only. That's the trap excuses set for you. They feel comforting in the moment because they give you a way out, a way to avoid accountability, a way to shift blame. But that comfort is poison. It eats away at you slowly, it robs you of pride, it steals your self-respect. Because deep down, you know the truth. You know that the excuse didn't pay your debt. It just delayed the collection, and the interest is building. Life will collect. Success will demand payment, and the price is effort, sacrifice, consistency, and discipline. You can't talk your way around it. You can't negotiate it down. You can't bargain with it. You either pay with sweat, with time, with focus, or you pay with regret. That's the deal. Excuses are nothing but a delay tactic, a way of trying to trick yourself into thinking you can escape the cost. But there is no escaping. The bill always comes due. And when it does, you'll either have something to show for it, or you'll have a pile of empty words. People love to tell stories about why they failed. They'll list every obstacle, every setback, every disadvantage. They'll talk about how it was too hard, how no one supported them, how everything was against them. But what they don't realize is that no one cares. The world doesn't care about your excuses. Results are what matter. Effort is what matters. The grind is what matters. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has problems. Everyone has reasons they could stop. The difference is that some people push through while others sit back and defend their weakness with words. And when it's all said and done, history remembers the ones who pushed through. Excuses don't get written in the record books. Excuses don't inspire. Excuses don't change anything. Every time you choose an excuse, you're choosing the easy path in the short term, but you're choosing the harder path in the long term. You think you're avoiding pain, but you're only pushing it down the road where it multiplies. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're only weakening yourself. You think you're avoiding failure, but you're guaranteeing it. Because failure isn't falling down. Failure is staying down and dressing it up with excuses. Failure is refusing to try again because you've convinced yourself it's not your fault. And when you live in that mindset, you're trapped. You've locked yourself inside a cage built from your own excuses, and the only way out is to stop making them and start paying your debt. Accountability starts in the mirror. That reflection staring back at you is the one person who knows every truth, every lie, every excuse, every broken promise. You can fool the world. You can fool your friends, your family, even your coworkers. You can act like you're grinding, pretend like you're disciplined, talk about your goals, post about the hustle, but the mirror doesn't lie. The mirror knows. It sees the days you skipped, the corners you cut, the times you stayed comfortable instead of pushing forward. That reflection is the ultimate judge because it can't be deceived. Accountability begins right there when you look yourself in the eye and admit whether you've done the work or whether you've been hiding. Most people run from that mirror. They don't want to face the truth. They avoid self-reflection because it's easier to shift blame. It's easier to point fingers at the economy, at their boss, at their environment, at their upbringing. It's easier to say, I didn't have the chance, than to admit, I didn't do what I should have done. But no matter how far you run, no matter how many people you convince with your stories, you can't outrun the mirror. You can't escape the weight of your own reflection. Because accountability isn't about others holding you in check. It's about holding yourself in check. It's about standing in front of that mirror and refusing to lie to yourself. That's where growth happens. That's where change begins. Not in external validation, not in someone else keeping tabs on you, but in you taking full ownership of your actions, your choices, your habits. When you accept that nobody else is responsible for your results, everything shifts. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You stop waiting for someone to motivate you. You stop expecting a push from outside. Instead, you become the one who pushes. You become the one who demands more. You look at yourself and you say, this is on me. The wins, the losses, the failures, the progress, it all falls on my shoulders. That kind of accountability makes you dangerous because it makes you unstoppable. The mirror forces honesty. It strips away the illusions you build for the world. You can say you're disciplined, but the mirror will ask, did you wake up when you said you would? You can say you're focused, but the mirror will ask, did you waste time scrolling? Did you let distractions own you? You can say you want success, but the mirror will ask, did you actually put in the work or did you just talk about it? That's the interrogation you can't avoid. The reflection doesn't care about your excuses, your feelings, or your rationalizations. It only cares about the truth of your actions. When you face that mirror and accept accountability, you stop living in denial. You stop hiding behind false confidence. You stop blaming others for outcomes you control. And that's when you take real power back, because accountability is the gateway to discipline. Accountability is the foundation of growth. If you can't be honest with yourself in the mirror, you'll never be consistent in life. You'll keep playing games, pretending, covering up, until one day the truth catches up. But if you stand there, unflinching, facing the reality of who you are and what you've done, then you can change, you can correct, you can grow. But it begins with that reflection. It begins with owning what you see. Sacrifice now, win later. That is the formula. That is the trade. The world doesn't hand out victory for free. It doesn't deliver success without a cost. Every goal you have, every dream you want to reach, every standard you set for yourself comes with a price tag. And that price is sacrifice. Sacrifice of comfort, sacrifice of ease, sacrifice of the things you want in the moment so you can have the things you truly want in the long run. That is the deal. And you either pay it now or you pay it later with regret. Sacrifice is what separates the disciplined from the undisciplined, the successful from the unsuccessful, the leaders from the followers. When everyone else is chasing pleasure, chasing distraction, chasing temporary relief, the disciplined individual is sacrificing. They are cutting away the excess. They are giving up sleep when it's time to wake up early. They are giving up nights out when it's time to work. They are giving up comfort food when it's time to build their body. They are giving up instant gratification in order to earn lasting respect. That sacrifice looks painful in the moment, but it builds strength. It builds character. It builds momentum that compounds into victory. People want the reward without the sacrifice. They want the results without the grind. They want the win without the struggle. But that equation doesn't exist. You can't cheat the process. You can't skip the price. Every ounce of success, every achievement worth having is bought with sweat, with effort, with focus, with sacrifice. And the people who pretend otherwise, the ones chasing shortcuts, the ones chasing hacks, they end up broke, frustrated, defeated. Because the truth always comes out. The ones who sacrifice are the ones who win. Sacrifice is discipline in action. It's making the choice again and again to give up what feels good now for what will feel incredible later. It's the understanding that pleasure is temporary, but pride is permanent. It's the realization that the pain of sacrifice lasts minutes, hours, maybe days, but the pain of regret can last a lifetime. Every time you choose sacrifice, you invest in yourself. You put another deposit into the account of your future, and one day that account pays out with interest. That's the win. That's the victory you were working for while everyone else was wasting time. Sacrifice isn't glamorous. It doesn't get applause. No one claps for you when you wake up at 4:30 a.m. No one cheers when you say no to distractions. No one notices when you're grinding alone while everyone else is sleeping. But that's where the foundation is built. That's where the separation happens. Quiet sacrifice, unseen sacrifice, the kind of sacrifice that no one knows about until it shows up in your results. And when it does, people will call you lucky, they'll call you talented, they'll call you gifted. But you will know the truth. The truth is that you sacrificed when they didn't. You paid the price in advance. And that's why you're standing on top when they're still wondering what happened. Sacrifice now, win later isn't just a slogan, it's a way of living. It means you accept that the grind comes before the glory. It means you accept that suffering is the path to strength. It means you accept that everything you want requires you to give something up in return. And the sooner you make that sacrifice, the sooner you earn the win. Every day you delay, every day you avoid the sacrifice is another day you push the victory further away. The ones who embrace the sacrifice today are the ones who hold the trophy tomorrow. No one's coming to save you. That's the reality. That's the truth that so many people don't want to face. You can sit around waiting for a hero, waiting for a mentor, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to pull you out of the hole you're in, but that wait will be endless because no one is going to do it for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not society. The world isn't going to stop spinning to give you what you want. Life doesn't hand out miracles just because you feel like you deserve them. If you want to get out of the hole, you have to dig your own way out. If you want to rise, you have to climb. If you want to change, you have to take responsibility for it. People love to believe in rescue. They think someone will show up and open the door to opportunity, that someone will recognize their potential and make the journey easier. They think someday luck will strike, or fate will intervene, or destiny will lay the path out in front of them. That mindset is poison, because while you're waiting, while you're sitting idle, while you're hoping for someone to come save you, time is passing. And every day that passes is another day lost, another chance wasted, another moment gone. The truth is that the only rescue team you have is you. The only savior you can count on is the person staring back at you in the mirror. When you accept that no one is coming to save you, you stop waiting and you start working. You stop hoping and you start doing. You stop complaining and you start grinding. That shift is everything. Because as long as you believe someone else will fix your problems, you give away your power. But when you own the truth that it's on you, you take that power back. You stop being a victim of circumstance and you start being the author of your story. You stop being passive and you start being aggressive. You stop being dependent and you start being independent. This doesn't mean you can't have help, doesn't mean you can't learn from others, doesn't mean you can't accept support. But support is not salvation. Guidance is not rescue. Mentorship is not someone carrying you on their back. At the end of the day, even with advice, even with help, even with resources, the execution is yours. The discipline is yours. The effort is yours. No one can suffer for you. No one can sweat for you. No one can put in the hours for you. No one can fight your battles. They can stand by your side, but they can't do the work inside the arena. That's on you, and it will always be on you. The reason so many people never break through is because they never accept this truth. They keep waiting for the stars to align, waiting for someone to give them permission, waiting for an easier path to open up. But the path doesn't get easier. The burden doesn't get lighter. What changes is you. You get stronger, you get more disciplined, you get more relentless. And that only happens when you stop waiting for rescue and start becoming your own savior. No one's coming to save you means you have to save yourself from laziness, from weakness, from fear, from procrastination. You have to fight the battles in your own head. You have to confront the voices telling you to quit. You have to silence the excuses. You have to build the habits, create the structure, put in the hours, make the sacrifices. No cavalry is riding over the hill. No reinforcements are on their way. It's you. It's always been you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you take ownership of everything in your life. You owe it to you. Pay in full. Nobody else is going to cover the cost. Nobody else is going to carry your burden. Nobody else is going to put in the work that you keep avoiding. This is your debt, and it doesn't get erased. It doesn't get forgiven. It doesn't get passed on. It sits there waiting, demanding payment. Payment in discipline, payment in sweat, payment in sacrifice. And the price is non-negotiable. You can't talk your way out of it. You can't charm your way around it. You can't delay it forever. Sooner or later, that bill comes due. And when it does, you either pay in full or you live with regret. You owe it to yourself because you know what you're capable of. You know the potential you're carrying. You know the vision you've seen for your life. And every time you fall short, every time you choose comfort over commitment, every time you decide to take the easy road, you're robbing yourself. You're stealing from your own future. You're taking from the person you could become. That is the real debt, not to anyone else, but to yourself. Because you were given a life, you were given time, you were given a body, you were given talents, and what you do with them is the ultimate responsibility. People live like they don't owe anything. They drift through life as if they can just coast, as if they can keep taking without ever giving back. But there's no coasting. Every day, you're either paying into your future or borrowing from it. Every workout you skip, every excuse you make, every opportunity you ignore, you're stacking debt. You're making the final bill heavier. And one day you'll look back and see how much you left unpaid. That's the weight of wasted time, wasted energy, wasted potential. And that's a debt no one else can pay off for you. You pay it in full by showing up every single day. You pay it in full by keeping the promises you make to yourself. You pay it in full by refusing to quit when it gets hard, by refusing to let excuses buy you temporary comfort. You pay it in full by grinding when no one is watching, by working when you don't feel like it, by staying focused when distractions call your name. Full payment means giving everything you have, not half, not part, not when it's convenient. It means you stop settling for less than your best. It means you stop cutting corners and start demanding excellence from yourself. You owe it to you because at the end of the day, no one else lives your life. No one else walks in your shoes. No one else carries your regrets. You are the one who has to face yourself in the mirror. You are the one who has to live with the results of your effort or lack of it. And if you don't pay in full, if you don't give what you owe, the one who suffers is you. You can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. Deep down, you'll know you left something unpaid. You'll know you didn't give everything. You'll know you chose comfort instead of responsibility. The debt doesn't go away. It builds, it compounds, it grows heavier every time you choose excuses over effort. But here's the thing, you can start paying it now. Every action, every sacrifice, every disciplined decision is a payment toward your future. And the more consistent those payments become, the lighter the burden gets. Until one day, you're standing where you wanted to be all along, not because someone saved you, not because someone handed it to you, but because you owed it to yourself and you paid in full.